Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here with me today. I'd love to know where you're joining from. Drop your city in the comments. Now let me pull you into a story that still makes my heart race. It was my 45th birthday dinner at a waterfront restaurant in Charleston, South Carolina, surrounded by my husband, my daughter, and my closest friend. The clink of wine glasses and the glow of candlelight made it feel perfect, until a waitress slipped by, leaned close, and whispered, "Don't drink that." I froze, my hand on my champagne flute. Her eyes were wide with warning, but before I could ask why, my daughter, Ava, grabbed my arm from across the table. "Mom," she whispered, her voice shaking. "It's worse than you think. Dad and Lisa, they're hiding something big." My husband, David, laughed, oblivious, toasting to my best year yet. My best friend, Lisa, smiled tightly, her fingers fidgeting with her napkin. The waitress's warning and Ava's words hit like a tidal wave. Poison? Betrayal? What was happening at my own birthday dinner? I set the glass down, my pulse hammering, as Ava's eyes met mine with a steely resolve I'd never seen in my 20-year-old. 5 minutes later, I uncovered a truth that would unravel 22 years of marriage, a lifelong friendship, and everything I thought I knew about my family. Stick with me. This one's a wild ride. I'm Ellen Matthews, a real estate agent who's spent 2 decades building a life in Charleston's historic district. My days are filled with open houses, contracts, and the salty breeze off the harbor. My husband, David, is a financial advisor, the kind of man who can charm a room with a single smile. We met in college, fell hard, and built a life together. Our cozy brick home, our daughter Ava, now a junior at Clemson, and a circle of friends who felt like family. Lisa, my best friend since high school, was the sister I never had. She was single, a wedding planner with a knack for details, and always at our side for holidays, vacations, even Ava's school plays. That birthday dinner was supposed to be a milestone. Turning 45 felt big, halfway through life, a moment to celebrate. I'd spent the morning showing a waterfront condo, my phone buzzing with David's sweet texts. "Big surprise tonight, babe." Lisa had planned the dinner at the Oyster House, a ritzy spot with views of the Ashley River. I wore my favorite emerald dress, the one David always said made my eyes pop. Ava drove in from college, her auburn curls bouncing as she hugged me. "You're gonna love this, Mom," she said, her grin infectious. But something was off from the start. David kept checking his phone, his usual charm strained. Lisa was jumpy, rearranging silverware, avoiding my gaze. I chalked it up to nerves. David was probably planning a grand gesture, maybe a necklace or a trip. Lisa was a perfectionist. She'd fuss over a crooked napkin. The restaurant hummed with clinking glasses and soft jazz, the air thick with the scent of grilled shrimp and sea salt. Our table was perfect. White linens, a bouquet of peonies, my favorite. The waitress, a young woman with sharp eyes, brought champagne, compliments of the house. As we raised our glasses, David's toast felt rehearsed. To Ellen, the heart of our family. Lisa echoed it, her voice tight. I smiled, but a prickle ran down my spine. Why was Lisa's hand shaking? Why did David's eyes dart to her? Then the waitress brushed past, her whisper so soft I almost missed it. "Don't drink that!" My fingers froze on the glass. My heart thudded. Ava's hand shot out, grabbing mine under the table. Her face was pale, her voice barely audible. "Mom, it's worse than you think. Dad and Lisa. They're hiding something big." I wanted to laugh it off. Poison? Ridiculous. But Ava's eyes, usually so warm, were cold with certainty. My mind raced. David, my rock for 22 years, who'd held my hand through Ava's birth, who'd danced with me at every anniversary. Lisa, who'd cried with me over coffee when my mom passed. Betrayal? I pushed the glass away, my throat dry. "What's going on, Ava?" I whispered. She shook her head, glancing at David, who was now joking with a waiter, oblivious. "Not here," she mouthed. The dinner blurred on. I played my part, laughing at David's stories, thanking Lisa for the flowers. But every sip of water tasted like dread. What was in that champagne? Why was Ava so sure? And what did she mean by hiding something big? After the waitress's warning, I couldn't eat. The crab cakes turned to ash in my mouth. Ava kept her hand on mine, her grip tight, grounding me. David and Lisa carried on, their laughter too loud, their glances too frequent. I excused myself to the restroom, motioning Ava to follow. In the dim, tiled space, she spilled everything. "Mom, I didn't want to ruin your birthday," she said, her voice cracking. "But I saw Dad and Lisa together last month at her office. They didn't know I was there, dropping off table linens for a client. They were kissing and talking about money, your money." My knees buckled. I gripped the sink, the cold porcelain biting my palms. "Kissing?" I whispered. "And what money?" Ava pulled out her phone, her hands trembling. I didn't believe it either. I thought it was a mistake. But I hired someone, a private investigator, Mom. I used my savings. She showed me photos. David and Lisa at a hotel bar in Savannah, their hands entwined. Bank statements showing transfers from our joint savings to an account in Lisa's name. Emails between them planning to secure the trust fund after my birthday. My trust fund, $2.5 million from my late father's estate, was meant for Ava's future and our retirement. David had access as my financial advisor, but I'd trusted him implicitly. "There's more," Ava said, her voice breaking. "The PI found a prescription in Lisa's name. Sedatives, strong ones. They were in Dad's car. I think they were in your drink tonight." My vision swam. Sedatives? To what end? To make me look unstable? To hospitalize me? My birthday, my family, my life? It was all a lie. I called my brother, Ethan, a Charleston lawyer who'd always been skeptical of David's big deals. He was at the dinner, sitting across the room, and joined us in minutes. "Ellen, I've been digging too," he admitted. "Ava told me her suspicions last week. I hired a forensic accountant." He showed me a file. David had been siphoning $300,000 from my trust fund over 2 years, funneling it to Lisa's wedding planning business, which was a front for their affair. Worse, they'd forged documents to make it look like I'd authorized the transfers, painting me as reckless if the trust collapsed. The final blow: Ethan's PI uncovered a life insurance policy David took out on me 6 months ago. $5 million with Lisa as the secondary beneficiary. The sedatives, the money, the affair. It wasn't just greed. They were planning to get rid of me. My stomach churned. I thought of David's warm hand in mine, Lisa's hugs, the years I'd trusted them. I was a fool. We planned fast. Ethan had connections with the Charleston PD and a tech friend who could hack the restaurant's AV system, meant for a birthday slideshow. We'd use it to expose them. Ava gathered the PI's evidence: photos, bank records, the prescription bottle found in David's car. I called my friend Sarah, a pharmacist, who confirmed the sedatives could cause disorientation or worse in high doses. The waitress, who'd overheard Lisa and David plotting in the kitchen, agreed to testify. The next hour was torture. I returned to the table, smiling through gritted teeth as David ordered dessert and Lisa gushed about my dress. Ava kept up the act, chatting about college, while Ethan worked discreetly with the restaurant's tech team. My heart pounded so loud I swore they'd hear it. Every glance between David and Lisa felt like a knife. How long had they been laughing at me? How long had they been laughing at me? How many lies had I swallowed? We decided the reveal would happen during the birthday toast, when all 50 guests, family, friends, colleagues, would be watching. Ethan handed me a small remote for the projector. "You sure?" he asked. I nodded, my anger burning away the grief. They don't get to walk away from this. The restaurant glowed with candlelight as David stood to give the birthday toast. "To Ellen, my rock, my love," he said, his voice smooth as ever. Lisa raised her glass, her smile perfect. I clutched the remote, my hands steady despite the storm inside me. Ava's eyes met mine, fierce and ready. Ethan stood by the projector, nodding subtly. "Before we continue," I said, rising, my voice cutting through the applause, "I have something to share." The room fell silent. David's smile faltered. Lisa's eyes narrowed. I pressed the remote, and the screen behind us lit up. Not with photos of my childhood, but with a grainy image of David and Lisa kissing in a Savannah hotel. Gasps echoed. My sister-in-law dropped her fork. Ava's best friend clutched her phone, recording. The next slide showed bank statements. $300,000 transferred to Lisa's account, my forged signature glaring. Then the prescription bottle, labeled with Lisa's name. The final slide. The $5 million life insurance policy. David's signature bold and damning. "This is my birthday gift," I said, my voice icy. "My husband and my best friend have been stealing from me, cheating on me, and planning to drug me. Maybe worse." The room erupted. My cousin shouted, "David, you bastard!" Lisa stood, screaming, "It's fake! She's lying!" David stammered, "Ellen, you're unhinged. This is a misunderstanding." But the evidence was undeniable. Ethan stepped forward, holding printed copies. "The police are outside," he said. "They have questions about fraud and attempted poisoning." The crowd parted as two officers entered, calm but firm. Lisa sobbed, collapsing into a chair. David tried to run, shoving past a waiter, but Ethan blocked him. "Not today," he said coldly. The guests were a mix of horror and fury. My neighbor, a retired judge, called for calm, but the whispers grew into a roar. Lisa's purse was searched, revealing a vial of pills matching the prescription. The officers cuffed her, reading her rights as she wailed. David was detained, his face gray with defeat. My birthday dinner, meant to celebrate me, became their downfall. The aftermath was chaos. The police took statements as guests lingered, some comforting me, others snapping photos for the gossip mill. Charleston's tight-knit community buzzed with the scandal. Real estate agent exposes husband's plot at birthday dinner, hit local news, then national blogs. I turned off my phone, hiding in my office as the world dissected my life. Lisa faced charges for fraud, theft, and attempted poisoning. She took a plea deal, 3 years in prison and full restitution. David was charged with financial fraud and conspiracy. He lost his license and faced civil suits from my trust's board. I filed for divorce the next day, my lawyer using the evidence to secure the house, half his assets, and a restraining order. It wasn't victory, it was survival. Ava moved home for the summer, her strength my anchor. We spent nights talking, crying, rebuilding trust in each other. Ethan's PI uncovered more. Lisa had been skimming from her wedding clients for years, and David had a gambling debt he'd hidden from me. Their affair was a twisted partnership of greed, not love. The hardest part was meeting Lisa's sister, Karen, who apologized for her siblings' actions. She revealed Lisa had envied me since high school, my career, my family, my life. It didn't excuse her, but it explained the venom. I forgave her, not for her sake, but to free myself. David sent a letter, begging for a second chance. I burned it in my backyard, the ashes mixing with Charleston's salty air. A year later, life looked different. I sold the house, too full of memories, and bought a condo overlooking the harbor. My real estate business thrived as clients admired my resilience. Ava graduated, pursuing a law degree to fight for people like us. We started a scholarship in my father's name, funded by the recovered trust money. One evening, Ava and I sat on my balcony, watching the sunset. "You're stronger than I ever knew," she said. I smiled, tears in my eyes. "So are you, kid." The pain of that birthday dinner lingered, but it forged something new. A family built on truth, not lies. If this story hit you, comment 1 below and share your city. Have you faced a betrayal that changed everything? Drop your story in the comments. I read everyone. Hit like, subscribe, and let's keep sharing these truths. Thank you for listening. Be kind to yourselves.